Breaking news! About to kick off another matchup, and we've got the latest roster moves and some big updates ahead of the Week 10 matchup with the Texans, so be sure to stay up to date with all your Detroit Lions news and analysis. You won't want to miss what we've got for you today. It's all about the moves, a potentially game-changing opener, and the Lions making moves to stay dominant. Let's get right to it. So here's what's going on. Just ahead of Sunday night's game against the Houston Texans, the Lions made a flurry of roster moves. First, defensive lineman Isaiah Thomas was released. This move opened up one of 3 roster spots Detroit needed to fill. So, linebacker Jalen Reeves-Maybin, who has been a rock for this team, has been placed on injured reserve after a neck injury in Week 9. That means we'll be without one of our best special teams aces and a respected veteran leader for at least 4 games. Big loss? Absolutely. But as always, next man up. To fill those gaps, the Lions have promoted tight end Shane Zylstra, linebacker Abraham Beauplan, and defensive lineman Al-Quadin Muhammad from the practice squad to the active roster. Zylstra has been making noise this season, earning the number 3 tight end role after maxing out his practice squad elevations. The dude has been grinding, and he's finally secured that 53-man roster spot. Muhammad, on the other hand, has been outplaying Isaiah Thomas, especially in the game against the Titans. His promotion isn't surprising, and honestly, it feels well-deserved. Now, let's talk about linebacker depth. With Reeves-Maybin out and Malcolm Rodriguez sidelined, Abraham Beauplan steps in to help fill the void. Beauplan was just re-signed to the practice squad earlier this week after being waived. His addition brings some depth, but he's not alone. The Lions are also elevating linebacker Ezekiel Turner and offensive lineman Jamarco Jones from the practice squad. Turner looks like the direct replacement for Rodriguez, while Jones could be crucial on the O-line with left tackle Taylor Decker out for this matchup. Lions fans, this could get interesting. And speaking of interesting, let's pivot to Za'Darius Smith. This is a guy who just joined the squad but already sees why the Lions are, in his words, dominant. Smith finally hit the field for practice on Friday, and his first impression of the team? All positive. But before we get too hyped, head coach Dan Campbell has been clear about managing Smith's workload. Remember, this trade came at what was supposed to be Smith's bye week with the Browns. Talk about a whirlwind. Coach Campbell knows what's up. He's got a lot of miles on the body, and he can still do it, but it's important for him to get a breather. Makes sense, right? You don't just throw a guy into the mix with 0 downtime. But here's the thing, Smith is listed as questionable for Sunday, and he's hoping to suit up. Man, I know the game well, Smith said. It's just about getting the plays in and being on cue with the blitzes. Hopefully, we can make something work in the next 24 hours. Lions fans, how badly do we want to see him out there wreaking havoc? Now, let's be real, Smith's addition is huge. This is a guy with years of experience terrorizing offenses in the NFC North with the Packers and Vikings. We know what he's capable of: 5 sacks, 6 tackles for loss, and 7 QB hits already this season with Cleveland. When he's fully integrated, our defense could take a serious leap forward. With Aiden Hutchinson out, we need every bit of that veteran pass-rushing, run-stuffing ability. Just imagine Smith coming off the edge, setting the tone with his relentless energy. Coach Campbell put it best: he's tough, he's violent, he's got a motor. He's going to be a perfect fit for us. So Lions fans, what do you think of all these changes? Are you excited to see how our revamped roster stacks up against the Texans? And will Za'Darius Smith make his mark in his Lions debut? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Now, we have a drama that involves fines, hard knocks, and even a little controversy. Let's get to it. Okay, so here's the deal. Lions safety Brian Branch found himself in hot water after last week's game against the Green Bay Packers. The NFL slapped Branch with a hefty $20,256 fine for his actions in the game, and we're here to explain exactly what happened. The fine was split into 2 parts: $10,128 for a hit on Packers wide receiver Bo Melton that led to Branch's ejection, and another $10,128 for his, let's call it, fiery gesture toward Packers fans in the stands. Yep, you heard that right. Branch flipped the bird to the crowd at Lambeau Field. Definitely not what you want to see from your star safety, but there's a lot more to the story. Now, let's rewind to that game for a second. It was an intense matchup, and emotions were running high. The Lions came out on top, beating the Packers 24-14 in a crucial NFC North battle. But Branch's night ended early after that hit on Melton. From the replays, it was clear that Branch's target was too high. It was a helmet-to-helmet collision, and the refs wasted no time ejecting him. The aftermath? Branch walked off the field, visibly frustrated, and let his emotions get the better of him, flipping off the crowd as he exited. Fans have been split on this. Some are calling the fine too harsh, while others think it's fair given the league's stance on player safety. Reactions on social media have been all over the place. One fan tweeted, "That actually isn't as bad as I thought. Still shouldn't have been ejected," while another simply said, "League is soft." Lions fans, where do you stand on this? Was the fine justified, or is the league going too far? Branch won't be facing any suspension, so he'll be back on the field for Sunday Night Football against the Houston Texans. That's good news because this matchup is huge. Some are even saying it could be a Super Bowl 59 preview. How about that? But Branch will need to be ready, especially with Texans star receiver Nico Collins coming back from injured reserve. This is the kind of game where we need Branch at his best, but with a cooler head. So, did Branch have any regrets? Actually, yes. He spoke to reporters earlier this week and apologized for the gesture toward the Packers fans. "That's not something I wanted to show or want people to notice me as that," he said. "That was just the heat of a moment for me, and I apologize to everyone who saw that. It won't happen again." You can't deny that it takes character to own up like that, and Lions fans, it looks like Branch is taking steps to ensure it won't happen again. As for the hit on Melton, Branch acknowledged it was a high shot and accepted responsibility. "I most definitely agree with the call," he admitted. "My target was obviously high, but that was never my intention to aim for the head. Moving forward, I do have to lower my target." It's clear that Branch knows he has to adapt, and with the league cracking down on dangerous hits, this is the kind of accountability we need from our defensive leaders. But here's a lighter note for you. Teammate Kirby Joseph decided to make some fun out of Branch's double bird incident, turning it into a new t-shirt design on Friday. Sometimes, you have to find the humor in the chaos, right? Meanwhile, Bo Melton, the player on the receiving end of the controversial hit, showed some real class after the game. "He was playing ball," Melton said. "I'm all good, so it is what it is. He was playing ball, and he hit me when I was in the air. So it is what it is." Respect to Melton for keeping it real. Lions fans, this kind of intensity is part of what makes our team who we are: tough, relentless, and sometimes a little too fiery. But it's all about channeling that energy the right way. The Lions and Packers will meet again on December 6th at Ford Field, and you better believe there's going to be some extra heat in that matchup with playoff implications on the line. So, what do you think? Did the NFL get it right with the fine, or is it too harsh? And are you excited to see how Branch responds this week against the Texans? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's hear what you have to say. Don't forget to like this video and hit that subscribe button for more exclusive Lions content. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, go Lions!